Imagine standing in a muddy field, gripping a wooden club with trembling hands. Across from you, a knight in gleaming armor lowers his lance. He's trained since childhood, born into nobility, and carries a sword worth more than your entire village. What would you do? Run? Fight? Today, we're asking one of the most fascinating questions in medieval history: could a peasant actually beat a knight in battle? The answer might surprise you, because history hides a few shocking stories of the underdog who fought back and won. To understand the odds, we have to step back into the Middle Ages, when knights were the ultimate warriors of Europe. They were elite soldiers, trained in swordsmanship, mounted combat, and tactics from the time they were boys. A knight's armor alone could weigh up to 50 pounds, costing more than a peasant could earn in a lifetime. Peasants? They were farmers, blacksmiths, and laborers. Poorly armed, often untrained, and sometimes even forbidden from carrying real weapons. On paper, it looks like no contest, a slaughter waiting to happen. But real history isn't that simple. We often imagine knights as unstoppable tanks, but in reality, armor had its limits. It was strong against swords and arrows, but not invincible. Blunt force weapons like maces and flails could crush through it. Even a well-placed rock or hammer blow could stun or break bones beneath the steel. And then there's stamina. Armor was heavy, hot, and exhausting. A tired knight could become slow, vulnerable, human. Meanwhile, peasants often fought in large, angry mobs. When hundreds of commoners faced a handful of knights, things could turn ugly, fast. Let's talk about real history. In 1381, during the English Peasants' Revolt, thousands of farmers rose against the nobility. They weren't trained soldiers, but they were angry, desperate, and fearless. Knights were ambushed, captured, and in some cases, killed by sheer numbers and cunning. There's even the famous story of Wat Tyler, a blacksmith's son, who led the revolt, facing royal soldiers and negotiating directly with the king. It didn't end well for Tyler, but his movement terrified England's elite, proving that even peasants could shake the foundations of power. Peasants didn't have swords or lances, but they had tools. Scythes, pitchforks, hammers, clubs, all could be deadly with enough strength and luck. A blacksmith could forge a crude spearhead. A farmer could sharpen a hoe into a blade. Remember, in chaotic close combat, precision often mattered less than aggression and endurance. One lucky strike to the joints of a knight's armor could end the fight instantly. Knights had training, but peasants had nothing to lose. Fear can paralyze, but desperation can also make a person unstoppable. In many uprisings, knights were overwhelmed not by skill, but by raw human fury. History teaches us something powerful here: even the strongest armor can't protect against the will to survive. In 1525, during the German Peasants' War, there's a recorded story of a peasant who ambushed a knight. The knight's armor made him slow, and as he stumbled in the mud, the peasant struck his helmet with a flail, crushing it. One man, poor, untrained, desperate, brought down the symbol of medieval power. It was rare, yes, but it happened. And when it did, it sent a message that echoed through history. So, could a peasant beat a knight in battle? One-on-one? Almost impossible. But in the chaos of war, with courage, numbers, and a bit of luck, yes, history shows us it could happen. The lesson? Power doesn't always come from titles, armor, or gold. Sometimes, it comes from sheer determination, the will to fight for something greater than yourself. Thanks for watching, and if you love uncovering hidden truths of history, hit subscribe, because next week, we're answering, could a Viking really defeat a samurai?